Yavapai Broadcasting and the City of Cottonwood proudly present Inside Cottonwood, an inside look at the decisions and issues of the City of Cottonwood. Brought to you by Arizona Smile Designers.
Welcome to Inside Cottonwood. I'm Mayor Diane Jones, your host today, and we have some pretty distinguished guests with us that I'll be very happy to introduce and proud to do this show with, and that is Brandon Crisler of Catholic Charities and Willem Kohler of Catholic Charities, and they are working with a brand new, at least brand new to the Verde Valley, Coconino County area, program called Supportive Services for Veteran Families. So gentlemen, I think the first thing we'll do today is learn a little bit about you and where you came from and where you think you're going, which the program will explain, but just a little bit about you. And we'll start with Brandon. Share some information about where you grew up and where you went to school and how you found Cottonwood.
Sounds good. Well, first off, thank you for having me, Diane. We're thrilled to get out here and just really get the name out of the program to the community. So thank you for giving us this platform. A little bit about myself. I am originally from West Michigan, from a rural farming town. Not a lot of people. So in a way, the Verde Valley reminds me so much of where I'm from too. It's really quite phenomenal with better weather and better scenery. Right out of college, I did get into the real estate field. I've been selling real estate in different areas for about 10 or 11 years. Okay. I've actually relocated shortly after college to Las Vegas. So I've been in Vegas since 2004. Obviously, it's not a far drive from here. It's kind of my retreat.
You can see your friends.
Yep. I found Sedona. I'm like, well, let me get away from the hustle and bustle of the big city. So back in 2008, I found Sedona. I was one of many who were drawn to the rocks. Mm-hmm. This place is beautiful. If only I could find a way to get myself out here one day. I wasn't really sure how that was going to happen, but I continued to vacation here. I eventually got word of the Verde Valley through the wine industry, and I started coming into Cottonwood, Jerome, Camp Verde. I'm like, wow, these people are so genuine. They're so friendly. There's such a sense of community. This is where I want to be. Unfortunately, I had a very good job where I was. I wasn't really sure how I would get here. Lo and behold, things tend to fall into place, as I always say. I had an opportunity as my job basically ended a couple months ago. Okay, I'm coming out to the Verde Valley. I started researching. I was going to move here regardless. And then I came across Catholic Charities, which the things they do for the community fall right in line with what I want to do. I've been looking to get into social work, specifically working with the homeless. So for me, it was really a hand-in-glove fit. There couldn't have been a better fit if I had to draw it up. I started. I'm new to the community. I've got to say, I'm a huge advocate for Cottonwood in general. Beautiful town, friendly people, vibrant, the vibrant Cottonwood nightlife.
Which, as young people, we were told in the past there's nothing to do. And so if you want to retain your youth or draw youth in, because every community needs youth. We need young people who are accomplished and have, gone to college and want to come back to our area or come to our area if they didn't grow up here. And, get a job, raise a family, and so we welcome you.
Well, thank you. I would offer anybody just to come out and really take a look at what they have to offer. Sometimes smaller communities are overlooked, but just to go through Old Town or the different tasting rooms, the different restaurants, I can't even name all the restaurants.
We were just recognized in the Arizona Republic for our culinary restaurants and our culinary abilities here in Cottonwood and the Verde Valley, so that was very exciting.
And I'm sure you guys take great pride in that. But long term, I would definitely, even though it's just been a short amount of time, like I said, I've kind of been scoping this area out for years. I would love to really immerse myself in the community, be here long term, and really just come together with the people and help this area thrive. So, long story short, that would be me, where I come from, and what I intend on doing. So.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing that, and welcome to our community. And Willem, how about you?
Well, like Brandon, I'm also new to the area. My wife and I moved here back in the middle of March after some extensive searching within the state of Arizona to find a pet-friendly community that would allow us to have our animals. And it was the first place that we called on the list, but the last one we actually got a response. When we talked to our apartment complex manager, they had been out talking with other renters at the time, so we didn't hear back from them until much later on. But both my wife and I are from California originally, and most recently we moved from Western Maryland. So the main attraction for Cottonwood was a lot less snow. we can still see some up on Mingus Mountain if we want to.
You can go play in it. It's not far, but you don't have to live in it.
Exactly. And
I understand.
It took me 10 years actually to get back to Arizona. I spent almost 1 year down at Fort Huachuca, and that's when I fell in love with Arizona. It was just, I didn't realize it until I was discharged from the United States Army for a medical discharge, and I got back to Monterey in California and said, there's something, it's beautiful, it's wonderful to live in, I like the people, but I'm missing something. And when we first drove across the country to go to school in Western Maryland, we stopped in Kingman, and early January I said, I feel like I'm home, do you want to stay here? And my wife was like, no, not right now. So she graduated from her community college with an associate's degree in forest technology, and that was one of the main reasons why we chose Cottonwood, because we are so close to the forests. It's a lot closer here than it was in Western Maryland for her to get out to a job, and we weren't able to do that immediately because we had our first child back at the end of June. So for us, when we first came in March, just pulling up on Main Street, we felt like we were home. We went to the dog park and let our dogs out after their 3 days of us driving across the country.
They were so happy, and they're going, this is home too.
They were indeed.
That's wonderful.
So we've loved it ever since. We met people at the dog park, out at the various stores as we were settling into town, and just the very first things were, everyone was so nice. It was wonderful. We couldn't have asked for a better place to come into, settle down, and begin raising our family.
Well, that is such great news to hear. And I've lived in Cottonwood 27 years, and to me, it's the promised land, and it always has been. And 27 years later, that feeling hasn't changed about this community.
Excellent.
I could second that. Just the receptiveness of the people, the welcoming. Oftentimes in a small town, you wonder moving in, are they going to be welcome to outsiders, so to speak? I mean, literally with open arms. Everyone's anxious to know your story. That's why I'm so anxious to really just become part of the community as a whole.
Well, that's very exciting to hear. And just to let you know, I moved to Fort Huachuca in 1953, you can imagine the size of the town then. It wasn't even Sierra Vista, it was called Fry.
Yes.
So I grew up in Sierra Vista, and that's a country that I continue to love. You always love your childhood home, I think, and
Definitely.
always want to go back, you know. And there's something about your childhood that draws you to wherever you grew up. If you were in one place very long, some kids, Army kids or military kids, move with their families a lot, so they might not have that feeling. But Sierra Vista is a very special place.
It definitely is.
So it's great to learn a little bit about you. I welcome both of you to town,
Thank you.
hope you're very successful. You know, we have a wonderful school system here for your child, girl or boy?
A daughter.
A daughter, for your little girl as she grows up. And you know, even if your wife wants to go back to college, you can get a 4-year degree right here at Yavapai College. And, you know, it's just so many opportunities here that we don't even think about. I know I was excited to be able to go to college a mile away from my house when I moved here, because back in Iowa where I lived at the time, I drove 30 miles.
I think I was probably in a similar situation.
Right,
Yep,
it's a small town, you
exactly,
drive a
Midwest,
long ways.
Yep.
So just so many opportunities in Cottonwood and the Verde Valley. So we are here today to learn about a new program called the Supportive Services for Veterans Families. And that is an SSVF if we do use an acronym. We talked before the show about not using acronyms.
We'll try to eliminate.
We'll try to do that. It can be difficult and we might slip up once in a while. But I am really excited about this program. As I understand it, the Veterans Administration has really tried to focus on homelessness among vets. And so the program that you're working on is going to address some of those issues in Verde Valley, Yavapai County, and as I understand it, Coconino County.
Correct,
So do you want to share a little bit about the program?
Yeah, most definitely. First off, we're very excited. This is a problem locally and nationally. Sometimes people don't always see what's right in front of them, but there is homelessness and homelessness among veterans right here in the Verde Valley. So what the VA has done is they had given us a grant to hopefully end all veteran homelessness by 2015. So we're just anxious to get started. This goes into effect December 1st. Okay. They're very proactive with the program. It is a housing first program, meaning let's get these veterans into houses and then really go from there. I think I can't speak for everybody but myself. I am not a veteran. We all know somebody who was, though. We all have family who was. Everything that they've done for us, to know that so many of them struggle when they get back here, they should never not be taken care of.
Absolutely.
So for me, it's an honor not having served, and I can't thank people such as Willem enough who have literally put their life on the line for our protection. I feel we owe it to them. I like to say giving back to those who gave for us. But we're really hoping that it takes off, get them into housing and be proactive.
Getting
not
jobs,
not only those that are homeless, literally street homeless, but this is also those who are at risk homelessness. Meaning, let's be proactive. If they are losing their job or they cannot pay a bill or something of that nature, and their next step is homelessness, maybe that's where we can come in with our case management and really work them through that so that they can keep the housing. There's really so much to the program. Basically, as long as you see a veteran in need, it doesn't hurt to contact us and we'll see what we can do for them. So.
Okay, well that's great. That kind of gives us an outline or an overlook of it, but we'll need to take a little break right now, and then we can kind of get into some of the details about how people can access the program. So we will be right back in just one moment.
I'm 1 on Rookie Guide. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning, 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash, 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
So, welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. I'm Mayor Diane Jones, your host, and we have with us today Brandon Chrysler and Willem Kohler to talk about a new veterans program in Verde Valley and Coconino County. So if you're a homeless vet or maybe a vet that just came back and you're at the point of thinking that maybe you're going to lose everything for a myriad of reasons, how can someone access your program?
There are a couple different ways. For one, we have our offices at Catholic Charities. We're happy to set them up with case management. But what we've really been trying to do in the past few weeks here is get the name out to the community, get our phone number out, get our information, our website. So I will give the phone number as the key thing. We want the entire community to memorize this. It's 855-256-9419. That would be the first point of contact. And what we'll do is we'll set everybody up with case management and really see what services most benefit them. Now, some of them...
Starting on December 1st.
Starting on December. Very important. Okay. I know we're chomping at the bit here, but we do...
You're getting very excited. It's not too far away now.
Yeah, we don't want to jump the gun. We just can't get here soon enough. But December 1st is when this all goes into place. And in the meantime, like I said, we're just kind of trying to draw everybody into this, as it is truly a community project. We are all responsible for seeing the success of our community, and this is a big part of it. But they can call the number, they can stop by the office. There are different ways of finding the homeless veterans. The key thing right now is organizational contact. Through Catholic Charities, there are so many networks, so many different sources we can go in which those networks can find the people who are most in need. There are certain points where it goes to literal street outreach, where we go out.
The Catholic Charities actually goes out into the field of where homeless might be and counts the number of homeless. And how many, Willem, how many were you guys talking about that you think maybe in the Verde Valley?
The last point in time, which was conducted by the Arizona Department of Housing at the end of January 2013, estimated about 26, but we really do feel that that number is a lot higher.
You just didn't find them all when you went out to do the counts.
And for us being brand new to the area as well as to Catholic Charities Community Services, it's one of our goals to actually get a more accurate idea so we know exactly how many people we're going to be working with.
And this would actually be what you're talking about right now, is actually homeless people that are living in the countryside.
That's correct. Unsheltered homeless.
Unsheltered, okay, and it doesn't count all the folks that may need the help that are just kind of hanging on by a thread right now.
Severely at risk, correct. One other thing they offer through Catholic Charities is the Loft. As we unfortunately do not have a shelter here in the Verde Valley. The Loft is a homeless drop-in center. It's open Monday through Wednesday and also Friday 1 to 5. And just kind of gauging off of the interactions I've had there, I would have to say the numbers are significantly higher than 26. And then you throw in the number of people on the fringe. It's quite alarming, I would say. Another thing I really wanted to touch upon is who exactly qualifies.
That would be good to learn.
Very important point of note.
You need to be a veteran, but how you can, one day of service?
One day, just one day of active duty service. So you may not think you qualify, but you very well might. You can be, as far as the discharge, anything except for dishonorable discharge.
So if you had a dishonorable discharge, you would not
For this program,
into this particular
unfortunately,
program.
you would
Yes.
not.
But you would still have the services through the loft
Through the
and some other
path and loft,
services.
exactly. It is important to state that we would need certain documentation, DD 214, and I know we're trying to stay away from the acronyms, but basically
but
that
that's
is your
what
military
the name of
discharge.
the form.
Right.
Right.
So you need your DD 214s,
Which is your discharge paperwork.
discharge papers, photo ID. If there's any income, we do need the proof of income. However, our caseworkers will help you as far as obtaining those paperwork, because the truth is, if you are living in the woods,
You won't have access to those
Sometimes I
papers.
struggle finding my Social Security card.
Right, exactly. So you'll have a mechanism to help the veterans.
Yes, we will.
Yes.
Whatever we can
to
do.
obtain whatever paperwork they need to be able to access the service, to help them.
Absolutely. It'll be different services for every person. We want to make that clear. This is really a short-term, ideally 90-day program designed at basically implementing an individual program for the veterans to get them into sustainable housing. So every program will be different for Veteran A, Veteran B, and Veteran C. So we don't want to go out and say we offer A, B, C, D, and E.
It'll
but
be
we've
unique
got,
to their uniqueness.
it will
Tailored
be, but
directly to the veteran and their family.
with the program and the case managers that we have in place, they will do everything they can to assure that they are getting the best services. That I can promise.
So we need to take another break, but I think that what you could say is this program is a hand up, not a hand out.
That is actually what I like to say. Yes, this is definitely a hand up. So.
Trying to help them be self-sustainable and be able to make it on their own and give them opportunities to do that.
That would be the best way to say it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll have another little short break and we'll be right back.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. I'm Mayor Diane Jones, your host. And of course, we're visiting with William Kohler and Brandon Chrysler from Catholic Charities about a new homeless veterans helping program. So so you're going to actually have access to find housing for these people that need this help. And so they'll move into a house, but it will have 4 walls. And so what can the community do maybe to help you help them? They'll need pots and pans.
Correct. Community involvement is huge. There are many, many ways you could help. For one, the house will be empty. If you were to donate, any little thing helps. It's a pan, it's a sofa chair, it's a bed, it's toiletries, a television, anything
table
helps. Yep. I mean, imagine living in a home, but then it's like, well, where do I go next? It's not really your home until you furnish it as such. So anything you can do to help. Another thing is donations. Certain things that are not covered by the program, we could use and we could buy through Catholic Charities. So donations are always
so cash donations will be. And if a person wanted to donate to this program specifically, Catholic Charities has a lot of different programs.
Correct.
So if they wrote a check out, what would they say in the memo? Just the veterans, supportive services for veteran families?
In the memo, I would simply go with the
veterans?
acronym SSVF.
SSVF.
And we'll make sure it's assigned to the right parties.
Or even just simply veteran.
Veterans, because SSVF might be a little bit hard to remember a week from now.
Correct. We'll go with veteran as our final answer.
All right.
The key thing, though, as I keep stressing, the key thing as far as community involvement is just get the name out there. Get the name out to our program. We're doing what we can, but we truly do need the community's help. If I were to tell one person about the program, I hope that they tell a few more. And we want everybody behind this, because if we're helping the veterans, we're helping the community.
Absolutely.
So we really just want name recognition. This is a program that has proven great success all over the country now, going into the 3rd year. With the help of the community, we will house all of the veterans by 2015. We will also eliminate the risk of those losing their houses. That I know, but this is really all of us involved. This isn't just the staff of Catholic Charities.
It's a community. It takes a village kind of concept.
It does.
So please get involved. What we're doing, what we're all doing here is just really a phenomenal thing. I came here to be part of it, and I hope everyone else is anxious to do whatever they can, even if it's just spread the word.
So just getting the word out is what we're really trying to do today. So Willem, there's a program called PATH, and it stands for Programs to Assist the Transition for Homelessness. And so how would this Veterans Program connect with PATH?
This is actually going to work hand in hand later on. As we know today, we're definitely working on getting our name out there, letting everyone know that there is a new program specifically for the veterans. But the PATH program has been established. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how long, but it's
been around a while. I know.
3 years.
Yeah.
It's been very successful, both here in the Verde Valley as well as in Flagstaff, Coconino County. And once we do take that step after the December 1st kickoff, when we start working with the veteran families themselves, we'll be going out and working with the PATH members hand in hand to find the veterans who may not be living close by. And that's going to be really exciting. I know some of our Flagstaff team members are really looking forward to that, even with the winter upcoming. But for us, it's going to be quite a different change than just going to organizations and agencies within the Cottonwood area and talking to the regular people. This will get us out there with...
I mean, in Rimrock, there's veterans in Rimrock that may not have access to services, and Camp Verde, Village of Oak Creek, even Sedona. I mean, people think of Sedona as having well-to-do people there, but Sedona even has its lower income people, its veterans. So it's just all over the Verde Valley, Clarkdale, Jerome, the county areas. So you actually be going out to those other areas and trying to let them know about the services.
Eastern Yavapai County. And to take a military term, we will be out with boots on the ground.
All right. I like that term.
And if a person wanted to be housed in a different area, absolutely we would house them there. For example, the VA hospital is in Prescott. I'm already working with landlords in Prescott. If they want to go down there, we will do wherever they want to go. We will work to send them there.
And this is where your real estate background will really come in handy, is getting the housing and working with well, people who sell homes. Now, are you trying to get them, will they be able to purchase a home, or are you working more with rentals at first,
right
just
now
to
we're
get
working,
them into a house?
We're working more with getting them in rentals. I think that'll be much more beyond this 90-day process.
Right.
Ideally, we will keep in touch with them. We hope to help over 200 veterans in this calendar year, which is now down to about 10 months. So long term, that would be awesome. But originally, we're looking at
the 90
rental.
days.
Correct.
So that will be, they have 90 days, but everybody knows it's going to take longer than 3 months to get on your feet and feel secure. So are there any programs that go beyond 90 days? I mean, I know Catholic Charities has the financial programs that teach you how to manage your money, and so there are programs that could be helpful to them.
Oh, absolutely. They through Catholic Charities, once again, they do have a housing program, long-term transitional housing, and those are definitely things we would look at. There are options, there are avenues. Correct, 90 days is a short amount of time, and if need be further, we hope to network and get them into these other programs, absolutely.
And this is where the community could come in too, to assist and help and support the veterans. And you know, we keep talking veterans, but I did hear you say family.
Right.
And I see that that's even in the supportive services for veteran families. So you're really focusing on the family if there is one.
Right, correct. That is an important piece to this. We want to help all veterans. There is, a family can consist of a family of one, myself. But specifically veterans with children. We do not want anybody on the streets. There is zero excuse for having a child on the streets.
Absolutely.
Though. Female veterans, just those that may be more vulnerable, I guess you could say. So there are some priorities there, but our goal is really to help everybody, but we do have kind of a pecking order, I guess you could say. But what I'll try to get this in at least once more. If you could take one thing from this, potential homeless veteran, basically remember the number. I think the human brain can easily remember 7 digits, 256-9419. If you're in doubt,
that's 855 though.
If you're in doubt, make the call. It does not hurt to make a call. You will definitely be doing your part to help.
Great, great. So we've actually already run over because it's always so interesting to learn about the community, what's going on in the community, which is what Inside Cottonwood is about. So we have run out of time. If you just have like another 30 seconds, is there anything we've missed?
Yeah, maybe I can buy about another 15 minutes from you. We can negotiate off air.
Yeah, we could do 2 shows, right?
Bring me back next month. We can go over some other things. We've got some great programs beyond even the homelessness aspect of things that I would really like to go over too. But as far as this is real, this is present, this is something that needs to be ended now. We hope not to have a job in the next year, meaning that we came together and we eliminated 100% veteran homelessness in the Verde Valley. So let's do our part and make sure that me and Willem do not have a job at this point next year.
Okay, all right.
So that we definitely have met and exceeded the Department of Veteran Affairs expected end date for veteran homeless by 2015.
All right, so that's great hearing you want to work yourselves out of a job, and that means your program would be successful.
Yes. Yeah, if you can't tell, we're excited.
Yeah, that is. So we will get together. Once the program starts, we'll get together again for a show and be able to share some more information with the public on this important topic of veteran homelessness. So this is the end of Inside Cottonwood, and in case you didn't know, that's the way it is in Cottonwood.